It was a usual busy afternoon, and I got on the train, and there was one seat spare, seat left next to a buggy with a child who was sleeping, and so I asked politely if I could sit next to the parent's child, and they said yes, so I sat down. I've been on that train a number of times with my little boy going to hospital, and so I decided to strike up a conversation. I had a little bit of a spiritual hunch that they might have been at the same hospital that we go to. So I asked them about trains and if their boy liked trains, and I was able to talk about why we've moved house and why we went to hospital, and immediately I could see that it was really affecting Mum and Grandma, and they were getting a bit welling up with emotion. It turned out they'd had a really horrible day at hospital. They hadn't expected to end up with a horrible diagnosis for their child, but somehow we had bumped into each other on the train, and I talked about my experience with Elijah, and it had served as an incredible encouragement that through the pain there was hope on the other end. And I was just honest. I was just a little bit vulnerable. I was just a little bit, yeah, it was maybe a little bit more than most people would do on the train. Everyone around us seemed to be a woman. It was really strange. And everyone was wanting to listen in. I could see so many people looking and listening. And it made me a bit emotional, talking about, yeah, my last year with Elijah and our family's time together in pain and struggle. So we had a little bit of a tearful time together, a little bit of crying, but actually by me being a little bit vulnerable, by me talking to them, it meant that there was healing. Even in that first day after an appointment at a hospital that was so horrible, there was hope. There was someone else that had been through a very similar experience. As with all good things, unfortunately my journey came to an end and I needed to get off, but before that I gave her my phone number and an email address and a Facebook account and said, you don't have to, I'm not expecting you to, but if you want to, you can get in contact. Yeah, I always try and talk to strangers. It requires a little bit of boldness. It may seem a little bit forward, but actually most of the time it's really encouraging, and that I can just leave a little encouragement, a little bless you, and share a little bit of story